Good day, listeners at home. Here is another edition of Issues That Matter on City Mirror TV. I am still your host, Boluwatife Adedokun. Today's Issues That Matter is a special one because we have a special guest, the gubernatorial candidate of Action Alliance Party in Osun State, Olanrewaju Farinloye. Our guest, please, can we meet you?
Thank you very much, Bolu. My name is Olanrewaju Farinloye, and I'm the gubernatorial candidate for Osun State for the upcoming elections in 2026.
All right, thank you. Now that you are the gubernatorial candidate of the Action Alliance Party, it is a known fact that when election is approaching, majority of candidates aspiring would stick more to the electorate. But when they are voted in, they will neglect the electorate. They forget about the electorate. So what can you say about that?
Well, firstly, the way I say it is our traditional politics is a bit transactional.
Traditional politics.
Yes, we're practicing and we have been exercising traditional politics.
Traditional politics.
Yes, it's transactional, not transformative.
Transactional.
Yes,
You give.
it's transaction, not transformative, and I'll explain. Our traditional politicians tend to buy votes.
They buy votes.
Yes, in terms of earning votes of the electorate. So now, when they get into office, they feel like they don't owe the electorate or the people anything because that's the transactional part. Now, our government, our administration, we're coming to change all that because we want to focus more on things that are transformative in terms of transformative governance and transparent government. We are going to provide mediums for people to have a government that they can track, a government that is accountable to the people, so that there's transparency and accountability across board. Now, in response to your question, if you have an administration or a government that is accountable to the people and that you can track them, so whether via different mediums, maybe phone, portal, the governor can never forget the electorate or the people because they're accountable to them. So our government embodies that. We will provide transparent governance for our people. We will provide means whereby they can see every single kobo or even naira the government is spending, the projects the government is doing for the people. Ìjọba tiwa a fẹ́ fọwọ́sowọ́pọ̀ pẹ̀lú àwọn èèyàn ni láti tún ìlú ṣe. So I guess the short response to your question would be that's, in my opinion, the reason why existing.
So you mean
politics.
Our politicians in Nigeria, they buy votes, not that they earn it.
Yes.
They buy the votes.
Yes. That's why I said it's more transactional.
Okay, now what are some of the things you think you can do when you are elected to better the future of the electorate that voted you in?
So our government and myself, the first thing that we will do is execute with immediate effect.
Immediate effect.
Yes, the Osun Tutu plan. We're already
immediately you get there, you start working.
We're already even executing it as we speak now.
You're executing?
Yes, we don't need to get into office.
You've been doing something?
Yes, because I'll touch on that a little bit.
Okay.
So when I say execute the Osun Tutu roadmap, we have a roadmap.
Osun Tutu roadmap.
Yes, for the Osun people. We have a roadmap. We have a blueprint, a strategy that would transform and create economical boom.
How are you doing that? You said you're already doing it. How are you doing that?
So, by even in campaign mode, a lot of our youths, we've ensured that all our youths or all the services, vendors, whatever we need for the election is locally sourced.
You said all our youth. Is it the youth from your own political party or all the youth in
across the states? And the reason why I say that is, for example, we're already an employer of services in Osun State,
Okay.
just during campaign. So we're not looking at, our strategy is more of, well, we have to provide for the people by means of even campaign. We are not looking outside of Osun State to procure those talents, even for.
So you are getting all the resources you are using for your
Yes.
campaign from
Everything
Osun
is
youths.
locally sourced in Osun. And I'll tell you why, because Osun's wealth has to stay in Osun. We're dealing with massive unemployment in the States. So what better way to start than to ensure that even within our own small team, they're all, these are, my team is made up, my campaign team is made up of youths and adults that are currently unemployed.
Are you focusing on youth or what of
No,
others?
not youths. That's why I said youths and adults across board. So not even in terms of employment. For example, merchandises that we're printing and manufacturing, all from Osun State. Caps, hats, things like that are used towards campaign. We ensure that it is all from Osun State, because that way we're already stimulating the economy.
You're stimulating the economy already.
Yes. We don't have to wait until after August to start doing the work. We can do it at a small scale now. So that's one of my policies and our policy, to make sure, in order to demonstrate this to the people, we have to show that, okay, well, we have X number of campaign team members. Even things that we're buying, services that we need, are all from people that own businesses,
No, sure.
whether that's in Osun State. So that way, the economy gets stimulated.
All right, now, you know that there is someone on the seat already. Why are you aspiring? Someone is there. Why are you not aspiring?
Right. Someone on the seat or a person in the chair does not equate to progress or forward movement for the state.
But the fact that someone is there does not equate that the person is performing.
Not at all. And it's not even, before we get into performance, I'm not, because you said someone in the seat, so we're discussing the person. I'm not aspiring or running against a person. We are our government, our administration. We're running against the decay of Osun's potential. And let me explain what I mean by that.
Running against the decay of Osun potential.
Yes, Osun has a lot of potential, whether it be the people, the talent, the brains, the land, the culture. But, excuse me, the way I see this, we're currently underperforming. And in terms of running or aspiring to be the governor, that's why I said it's not a personal thing. We're not running against the person on the seat like you rightfully asked. We are running against the decay of Osun State's potential.
Not against the person on the seat.
No, we
But
don't.
against the decay of Osun potential.
Our focus is on Osun's potential. Osun ní láti dára. Osun dẹ̀ máa dára under our own government. We are going to provide jobs for people. We are going to stimulate our economy. We are going to provide programs, initiatives, grants, funding, support, to ensure every sector. So, for example, our manifesto is an 8-point manifesto which touches on
8-point manifesto.
Yes, which touches on all the pillars. Those are things we're already doing now, which is why I gave you the example.
Can you use the
Yes,
points?
and the first one would be healthcare.
Okay.
So, ìlera ni ọrọ̀. Àwa Yorùbá máa ń pòwe, ẹni tó bá ti ní àlàáfíà, ohun gbogbo ló ní. So we have to start with the physiological needs of the people. Healthcare is the number one thing. Right. So there are certain initiatives already in play in terms of healthcare, but our government is looking to even further upgrade and stimulate that. So I'll give you an example. Like our rural primary PHCs, rural primary health centers. We're going to ensure there is adequate drugs and medication, provision well staffed of doctors, nurses, and healthcare workers in comparison to some of the empty buildings we have now. That in itself creates more jobs, boosts the economy. So that's one of the things our government is going to do. We will make sure the
What about
health
your
of the
other
state
points?
is number one priority. Sorry, go on.
Other ones. You said 8-point agenda.
Yes, I'll touch on three, which are the core ones. But the three also intertwine with the remaining five. So, like I said, number one, healthcare. Number two, our government will transition our youths. Because the reason why I keep emphasizing on youths is you have to understand Osun is a young state. If you
Osun
look
is a
at the
young
numbers,
state.
yes, this is a state of about 4.6 to 7 million, right? According to the last census, which in itself is out of date. But let's just agree to say there's about a state of 4.7 million, and close to half of that are predominantly youth. I'll even give you an interesting fact. About 37% of Osun State's population, which is 4.7 million people, are between the ages of 0 to 15. So when I say transition our youth, and that's the future of Osun State, you have to understand. So our government is not looking at the issues of now. At the same time, while we're solving those issues, we're also looking forward into the future to maintain that. There has to be continuity of governance, right? Now, when we get into office, we're looking at immediately, which is point number two, transitioning our youths from job seekers into innovators, whether it be in tech, whether agriculture, which has a bit of technology in there as well. We have mechanized farming tools, processes, and things of that nature. Automation, you know, whether it's our artisans, our onisheowo, we want to transition them from job seekers
To job makers.
into exactly employers, not employee, particularly our artisans, our onisheowo. Our government, which is why I said we have a blueprint, we have a roadmap, we have a plan into entrepreneurs, our mechanics, our carpenters, you know. So those are part of the focus of what our Shuntutu government
It's all about.
stands for and represents for the people.
Okay, how can you rate the performance of the incumbent governor?
Right. So I respect the incumbent's office and administration. They have done some good things, right, in terms of infrastructure. But like I said again, this is not a personal agenda against an individual. This is more of Oshun's potential. We're underperforming and we can do better. Our government, our plan will work. This is proven. I personally have track record of this, doing it for several sovereigns. So those are the blueprints and the plans that I'm bringing to Osun State for the people of Osun State. So it's not necessarily a personal agenda. I respect the office of the incumbents. There are some good things they have done. There are some things that can be improved and upgraded also. But like I said, we have to start looking at things like, okay, what are the projects that have been done in this last cycle? I mean, from 2022. Osun probably is one of the most indebted states in Nigeria. So we have to now start looking at or comparing and analyzing the level of the projects on ground, completed and even in progress, versus the amount of money that has been borrowed to execute this. Does it make sense? Does it align? Right? Are we putting our state into more debt? Now, those projects in itself, how is that boosting the economy? Things like bridges are nice. We need it. That's infrastructure. But then again, we need to start looking at things like agriculture. Do you know how many products? I mean, this is an agrarian state, like I said earlier on. We need to start looking at initiatives, governance, policies, processes, support that will boost and create an economic revolution in Osun State. Osun State is not poor. It's just poorly managed.
Osun is not poor but poorly managed.
Osun is not poor. Osun is poorly managed. And now, I'm not trying to slight the current administration. Like I said, there are some things they've done which are good, but we are going to do better because there's so much unlocked value in Osun State. And also, the reason why I said that, while I respect the incumbent's office and all their efforts, they're doing some good job. When we come in, what we're going to do is we're going to review and analyze what they're doing, which is good. We'll do a SWOT analysis. We'll do a retrospective, right, on the last 4 years. This is what has been done. These are all the projects that have been commissioned. Okay, this is working fine using metrics, right? This is not guesswork. This is good. We need to continue this. This we can improve because that's what happens when you have a retrospective.
So
within
governance, you can improve. You continue.
Yes, that's the point I'm trying to drive at. When our government is not coming in here, our administration is not coming here to come and say, okay, àwọn ṣe léyìí, àá fẹ́ ṣe tiwa bí báyìí. No. We are going to continue. That's the point of the retrospective.
Okay.
We're going to continue what they have done and continue that and improve on the ones too. Which is why I say we're going to do better.
Now, you say you have the potentials of Osun youth in mind. So how do you want to make Osun State an industrialized state?
Our government will create micro-industrial clusters across Osun State.
In what way?
Whether being Iwo, Elisha, right? And technology innovation hubs. And when I keep saying technology, I want to make a clear distinction. Technology doesn't necessarily mean computer, right? There's technology in everything. We're in 2026, right? So when I say micro-industrialization clusters, for things like agriculture, which we've neglected and abandoned, to stimulate and boost it. For things like even technology that I mentioned earlier on, like literal computers, whether be it digital skills, whether bootcamp programs for our youths, whether training programs for our artisans. Our government is going to ensure all the different facets of labor within Osun State is verified and validated. Our government is going to support the people.
And how feasible do you think this thing is?
Very feasible. Why do you not think it's possible?
I'm asking you, is your administration, how do you think it to be feasible to be?
It is very feasible because you have to look at things at a micro level, which is you zoom in, and you have to look at things at the macro level, which is you zoom out. This is part of the reason why I said earlier on that when you zoom in and zoom out, you are constantly zooming in and zooming out, right? The middle point is meso. So you're looking at things is almost like having a short-term view of something, but at the same time, you quickly look at a long-term view. Then I guess you'd be somewhere around the midpoint. So short, medium term, long term. So we're constantly doing that because, like I said, the state is very young. So we don't only want to create policies that benefits the people today. We want to also look at, again, continuity of governance, policies of today that would favor and benefit both the state and the youth
Tomorrow.
tomorrow.
Okay, now considering the fact that Osun is an agrarian state, what are your plans for agriculture? What are your plans to boost agriculture in the state?
So agriculture is one of the main things, unfortunately, we have neglected in Osun State, even despite being an agrarian state, not only in Osun State, in Nigeria in general. We're going to create agricultural tech hubs.
Tech hubs.
Yes. I keep using the word technology. Most people associate technology with computers. So let me make a very clear distinction. This is a technology. Because once upon a time, we used to put feather in ink and write on paper. But now you don't have to carry ink or the feather around.
Because of technology.
This is a technology. Ada is a technology. Something
Cutlass.
shoko.
Cutlass.
Yes. It's just taking things from point zero to one. So when I say when you mention agriculture, in terms of agriculture, we're going to create agro tech hubs. Now, what that is going to do is we're going to provide better machinery, modern machinery for our farmers. We have a program for iṣẹ́ ọ̀gbìn wa, fáwọn àgbẹ̀ wa. We have a program for them because Osun State, as mentioned, is an agrarian state. So we need to really focus and unlock the wastage in that sector,
And
which
how
is
do you think the
agriculture.
local farmers in local areas will benefit from this
Well,
innovation?
like I said, we have an 8-point roadmap, right? In terms of infrastructure, so let me segue into what I mentioned earlier on about bridges. We need to make sure if we're going to do infrastructural projects, especially if we're even borrowing money to do that, we need to make sure our hubs are connected so goods and services and people can move from point A to B. That's in Oko, De City, right? The road leads to there. Agbenioba. So when I mentioned we're going to support and provide them with modern technology like tractors and things of that nature, we're going to make agriculture itself more appealing by government issued grants, funding for startups, even existing farmers. I'm gonna make sure pay okay support to need the tools they need, the investment they need is all provided so that will boost agriculture, right? And as a byproduct, increase jobs for one, and revenue and income to the states.
How do you think the funding will circulate around all the farmers?
Like I said, startup funds and grants. So, Kaipe, you want to buy on green issue, or you have a cocoa farm, right? We're going to create programs whereby you can apply for funding. Obviously, this will be based on criteria. You can apply for a grant.
Anybody can apply.
Because you know what? I want to scale my produce or my output from X amount monthly or whatever cycle to X amount. So perhaps now you want to get tractors or whatever you need, staff, labor. You want to scale up, you need money to do these things. And now when you do that, your business grows, right? Your operations grow because you've been able to receive funding to stimulate that. Now, when you do that, when you are scaling up, you are inevitably going to be providing jobs to people because, you're scaling up. So that creates more jobs in the economy. Now, In terms of infrastructure, if we are looking at, okay, we need to make it very easy to get goods and services from our farms to urban areas, right? Then it makes logistics easier, you know. That's the
The
entire value
transportation of
chain
goods from their farms to
to
markets.
the marketplace, right? That's the entire value chain. So our government is going to capture that and make sure we support our farmers with all those types of initiatives and programs. Because in that way, not only are you going to provide jobs or create new avenue for jobs or increase productivity or output, or indirectly, all that in itself now will create a situation whereby the cost of goods, the cost of even the produces like you get is going to reduce because now you have better you have a better system of getting the products to the marketplace. And that's even within Osun. I tell you, Menude Ibi for the southwestern states. Then there's even still the international market. At the same time, there's something that I coined when it comes to agriculture in particular. Osun, our government will ensure. So that's why I said agriculture was the third one, if you remember, on the point. I said it's core and it ties everything together. Osun must do something that I call PPP.
PPP.
Yes. Which is plant. That's what we're currently doing now. Process and packaging.
Plant, process, and packaging.
Yes, PPP. We're planting already. We're going to plant more.
They're going to
Via
package
all those
it.
programs that would stimulate that part of the value chain. We're going to create factories whereby we can now start processing the harvest from the planting. Then we're also going to start packaging. Our government represents, we want to see Osun grown as a tag, for our farmers. That's just to answer one of your questions. So plant, process and package. Èyí tá a bá jẹ ṣẹ́kù ní gbogbo yẹn
Plant,
tá ti
process.
provide from southwestern states and our region, then we
Distribute
can now
and all that.
export that. Yes, because the global marketplace, we have produces in Osun that we're selling for a fraction of what the international market is paying for it. Why? Because we haven't looked at the processing and the packaging parts. Where our own government will come in is to be able to facilitate that for our farmers. Now, things like packaging, as you can imagine, when it comes to consumer staples, things like food, there's a standard you have to adhere to. It's a global standard and even local from region to
Yes,
region.
yes.
In terms of when I say packaging, the content, well, that will be part of processing also. So the government is going to have our government is going to have direct input in terms of that to make sure it's standardized.
All right. Our nation is currently facing an energy problem, particularly epileptic power supply. So, what do you intend to do to assist development of small-scale businesses if you emerge victorious?
When we enter government, so there is the 2023 Electricity Act, right? Which constitutionally enables the state to generate and distribute its own electricity. What I'm going to ensure is that we collaborate with both domestic and foreign investment to build our own power plants in Osun State so that we can distribute, excuse me, and we can generate and distribute our own electricity within Osun. We don't need to be on the national grid. The law is there. And I think I'm the only serious candidate
You think you are
looking
the
to,
only serious
I
candidate?
think I'm the only serious candidate looking to implement
Okay, you think
that
others
law.
are not looking into it?
Well, do we have lights? No. And part of what I was saying earlier on, we cannot boost or create an economy in the dark.